Stop outsourcing your self-worth. Choose you every single time. Hi, my name is Precious, and one of my bachelor's of science is in psychology. Today, we're going to talk about something that might sting, but might also set you free. Stop outsourcing your self-worth. Stop giving other people the power to determine how valuable you are. Because every time you're relying on someone else's validation, every time you're waiting for them to choose you before you choose yourself, you're giving them your power. And deep down, we all know how exhausting that is. It's like living on a stage where the spotlight only turns on when the audience approves. You were not made to perform for acceptance. You were made to embody your worth regardless of who's watching. Okay, let's talk about science for a second, my favorite. So every time you receive a like, a comment, a compliment, or some sort of social approval, your brain releases dopamine. This is the same neurotransmitter that is involved in the reward circuitry of the brain. Social media and other forms of digital validation mimic these rewards and create something called variable reward schedule. You don't know when or how much reward you'll get, which makes the behavior more addictive. When you become conditioned to seek validation this way, your brain begins to form what is called external locus of evaluation. In cognitive psychology, this refers to the tendency to rely on others' judgments instead of your own. You begin measuring your worth through the lens of others, how they react, how they respond, how they affirm. Over time, your intrinsic motivation begins to weaken. This is supported by Desi and Ryan's self-determination theory, which was established in 1985. This emphasizes the importance of autonomy, competence, and relateness in maintaining psychological well-being. External validation hijacks your autonomy. It makes your mood and sense of identity dependent on someone else's response. When you give someone else the power for them to determine your values, it disrupts the cognitive schemas that you have about yourself. Cognitive schemas are mental structures that we use to organize knowledge and interpret information. If those structures are shaped by rejection, abandonment, or chronic invalidation, you will constantly doubt yourself, even when nothing is wrong. You live in a constant state of hypervigilance. You're constantly overanalyzing conversations, tone, and silence. You avoid confrontation not because you're peaceful, but because you're afraid of getting discarded. You become a mirror for other people's comfort instead of your own truth. In cognitive neuropsychology, this is related to self-referential processing. This is a function that activates the medial prefrontal cortex. So studies using fMRI imaging, this was done by Nortuff et al. In 2006. It shows that when others think about themselves through the context of other people's approval or their disapproval, different neural pathways are activated than when they're thinking independently. This goes to show that outsourcing your worth literally rewires how you think about yourself. And the dangerous part is that when your identity depends on being chosen, you'll do anything to avoid being alone, even staying in environments that depletes your sense of self. Now let's talk about the power of self-reclamation. When you choose you, you activate regions of the brain that is associated with autonomy and agency. This is particularly tied to the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This plays a huge role in executive decision-making and self-regulation. You begin to start regulating your nervous system differently. No longer in a chronic state of stress response trying to earn approval, but in a grounded state of self-trust. You stop asking, am I enough for them? And start asking, is this right for me? Psychologically, this develops what's called self-concept clarity. This is a consistent and coherent understanding of who you are. According to Campbell et al. In 1996, High self-concept clarity is associated with greater self-esteem. It's associated with lower anxiety and more resilience coping mechanisms. Choosing yourself builds a foundation for all other areas in your life. Relationships, your focus, your ability to set goals and follow through with them. You no longer need to perform to feel worthy. You just simply are. You are not here to be palatable. You're not here to be approved. You are here to be whole. The next time that you're tempted to search outside of yourself to feel worthy of permission, I want you to remember this. You are already enough. You're already valid and you're already complete. Choose yourself not just once, but every single time. Even when it's uncomfortable and even when it's lonely. Even when it means letting go, because choosing yourself is the beginning of every good thing. Like peace, clarity, power, and real joy. Stop outsourcing your worth and stand on it, own it, protect it. That is when the real glow up begins. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to further expand on. I will also be adding all the references that I used to make this video in the caption below. Thank you for watching. Bye.